Hi, this is Ron with Sandcar Services, and I'm trying to help out a member of the crew that has a problem potentially in his cross shaft on his Mendeola, and he posted help the other day. So I'm going to post this up on my YouTube channel also at Ron Williams 2042. If anybody wants to see it, it'll be up there forever. But here's what he posted. Now, first off, I'm going to let everybody know, if they've seen his video, whether or not he has the return spring or whether or not he has any of the hardware disconnected off of his slave cylinder has absolutely nothing to do with his shift arm dropping backwards like that. Okay, that's dropping backwards because there's no tension on it. There should be tension. See how it wants to snap back? There should be tension on this arm going this way no matter what. Right? There has to be a return spring. However, with his engine in his car with his clutch assembly on, he shouldn't be able to push this any further back than the amount of time it takes for the throwout bearing to engage the fingers on his clutch disc. So let's discuss that for just a minute. Now, there's two different main types of cross shafts on a Mendeola. This is the most common. This is not what he has. This one, but I wanted to show it to you so everybody can see the different shafts. We're going to show you his in just a minute. This one, the cross shaft, which goes through the transmission, bell housing, and the actual arm, these are two separate pieces. This one, the cross shaft is actually smooth all the way around, but it only has 4 teeth on this, 4 male teeth on here and 4 female teeth on here, the splines, that actually engage each other. So if this cross shaft becomes frozen like this one did, I had to actually cut this one off because we couldn't move this arm with a pry bar. It was just completely frozen. So if you were to pull the spring off to make sure that the spring tension's relieved, and then take a pair of snap ring pliers and remove this circlip, this arm will come off. Now, they can be stuck and you have to tap them off with a hammer, but that arm will come off. And on this one, there's only a few teeth engaging it. So, but the main thing I wanted to do was I wanted to explain how this operates on this clean unit, and then we'll go out and look at the other unit. So when you push down on your clutch pedal, you're supplying hydraulic brake fluid pressure to a slave cylinder that has now this one's common, so this one's got a rod that comes through here with 2 nuts. Right? But it's the same as the Heim joint setup that's outside. When you push on your clutch pedal, you're pulling back on this. And when you're pulling back on this, what you're doing is you're pushing forward on your throwout bearing. Now, your throwout bearing spins. It contacts the fingers on your clutch pressure plate. Let's go look at that for a second. So this is a clutch pressure plate that I have sitting up on the shelf. And these are the little fingers that throwout bearing rides on. So when you push down on your clutch pedal, you're pushing in on these springs, and when you push in on these springs, you release pressure from the disc and allow the disc to spin independently of your clutch assembly, and that's how you're allowed to have that neutral feeling where your engine's not stalling because your clutch is pressed down. Make sense? Okay, hang on. So there's a couple of things that could have happened on his. This arm could have stripped right here. The fingers or the arms that push the throwout bearing forward could have broken off. But let's go outside real quick and look at the other one. Okay, so this one right here, this is a different style setup. This is more what he has. So on his, when he moves this back and forth, right, this nut, or bolt I should say, is not, it doesn't look like it's moving in his video. So my guess is that he's got a problem in the cross shaft. But what I'm going to guess is one of two things. If he takes that bolt off, make sure his spring is disconnected, and he slides this off, this one here doesn't have splines engaging it. It's a rectangle with rounded edges on both sides. See that? Okay, so there's a potential, if this center cross shaft has frozen and doesn't move real well, that this was loose and it just waddled itself out, and now either this is rounded off or this is rounded out. So before he pulls his engine, I would recommend that he takes this off and looks at it and sees what's going on. Even if the cross shaft is damaged, you don't have to pull the tranny out of the car, but you do have to pull the engine to fix it because you have to be able to disassemble all of this. The other thing that I think may be happening is, and I've already pulled the spring so his throwout bearing can come off, is if the arms have not broken off here and here, I have seen throwout bearings that the ears, let me see if I can get a better zoom in, the ears break off. And if the ears break off, you end up with the arms just pushing forward, which gives you this. So he needs to go in and check that. That would be the thing I would most likely think has happened that he's had a problem with. Sorry that I'm out here in the sun on this one, and I don't want to carry this in on the bench just for that. But this is Ron with Sandcar Services, and I hope this helps somebody out. It kind of explains how this system works. So good information to have. If you have any questions, feel free to holler. Thank you.